Hi, I am making this video to show you how to file a Florida quarterly sales tax return. So when you get to the login page, you enter your user ID, hit next, sales and use tax, sales and use tax return, make sure you have the right collection period. In this case, we're doing the second quarter of 2023. For the purpose of this, our sales tax is pretty simple, and since we sell water, the water is exempt, and what we're paying for is the core services, or the bulk of our revenue, exempt sales. I would say, to make things quick, try to have the numbers ahead of time ready, but we're going to put in gross sales here. We put the exempt sales. In this case, the tax rate, I believe, is 7%. The collection allowance is pretty easy to calculate. You take your total taxable amount, or your total tax due, based off of, from what I understand, this column right here, or I shouldn't say that. You take your tax due and you multiply it by 0.025, and as long as it isn't over $30, that is the collection allowance that you get to deduct from your sales tax obligation. And line 15D, in which what you're doing there is whatever the total taxable amount is, you're figuring out your discretionary sales surtax. In this case, it's 1%, which is 1% out of the 7%. I believe that's correct. Although it could be different, this is just an example in this case. The sales tax is due for Florida by the 20th, and Florida is different than other states, and it's a little bit extra detail to know that if you submit the banking information by the 20th, that would be too late. Instead, you need to submit the banking information before the 20th. I try to do it a couple days ahead of time, because from what I understand is the payment needs to show up on their file by the 20th. Otherwise, you will potentially get hit with a penalty. And then here you have a for-your records only, confirmation number, and everything. And that is how you submit the Florida sales tax return.